Hey, Mike here, working with a little mini DC brushless compressor, 80 watt input power. That's what it's rated for. Still messing about with capillary tubing. Not too familiar, just kind of completely guessed on the length and guessed ridiculously wrong. It's been far too long. The capillary tubing, that is 0.031 bore. Started with 12 feet here after the filter dryer strainer setup before it goes into the evaporator and the condenser. This dehumidifier just came out of a 5,000 BTU air conditioner. Got a computer case fan on that end. Didn't want to overdo it on the airflow, considering we don't have a lot of refrigerant flow, and I got especially less refrigerant flow because I went with such a long length of capillary tubing. I've taken off several lengths of it. I think I'm down to like 7 feet now or something, 6 or 7 feet, probably 6 feet, and I'm gonna have to take more off. It's really been quite a disaster, I suppose, but I've gotten to be quite familiar with this setup of the system. Charging it, taking refrigerant out, checking the oil in the compressor, changing the oil in the compressor, working with capillary tubing, cutting it, unbrazing it, brazing it. It's been a lot of fun, actually, and then seeing over the course of shortening it 1 foot at a time, 2 feet, 1 foot, 2 feet, and noticing the changes in the system for the amount of refrigerant charge, the amount of discharge heat, the amount of subcooling that happens, where it starts to happen down through the coil, the kind of suction pressures I can, how high I can get them, because it's too much of a restriction on the capillary tube. And at this point, to actually get any significant amount of heat being moved, I mean, there's warm air coming off of the computer case fan. I had to essentially overcharge it. Charging it with these little canisters has been kind of a pain in the butt, mostly because the low side pulls down so low, starts cooling the canister down. I'll heat it up with a heat gun. I could use some warm water, I suppose. This last time I started with the small tank and then went for the barbecue tank because it's easily able to provide the heat load to compensate for the evaporating propane inside as I charge as a vapor to the suction line. So yeah, momentarily here I'm going to shut her down and take the charge out and shorten the cap tube once again, trying to get a little bit closer. Thinking I'll probably have to do it, twice more, really. Try not to overdo it, but yeah, I really overestimated the length of cap tubing I would need. So, until then.